All right, everybody, we are here for our second to last day of our low back pain management class, and we're going to put everything that we've learned all together. We know that the latissimus dorsi is one of the biggest muscles in the low back. We know that the multifidus and the longissimus and the erector spinae, they're doing a lot of work to enable us to go through our ranges of motion, which, as we have discussed, we can bend forward and backwards. Those are our forward flexion and extension, and they exist in what we call the sagittal plane. The low back can bend from side to side in the frontal plane through the motion we call lateral flexion, and you can twist left or right through the transverse plane in what we call rotation. Now, I've mentioned a couple of times in these classes that we can, of course, bend forward and turn at the same time, or lean back and side bend at the same time. These are called coupled movements, and you can engage all three ranges of motion and can be somewhere between all 6 of these movements. That's normal, and we do it all the time. And the more that you train your body or use your body in all of these ranges of motion, the more resilient you become and the less susceptible to injury. A really great exercise that engages multiple ranges of motion that you can do in a chair is this seated lateral flexion and rotation exercise. Now, in the photo, this model is holding a ball between her legs. This is going to help her engage her core and keep her pelvis and legs in a neutral, stable position. This is going to let us isolate the low back. So, if you don't have a ball, that's okay. You could roll up a towel and you could squeeze a towel instead. Or you could use a basketball, lots of stuff. If you want to really isolate the low back, you could even squeeze a tennis ball between your knees, something really small that you had to focus and engage those leg muscles with. That'd be more of a challenge and not a beginner exercise. But follow the instructions, try this out. It's going to help you. Another exercise that I really love is called thread the needle. This helps me a lot with my own tension in my upper back. You start on your hands and knees. This is that tabletop position from yoga that we've incorporated in a couple of different exercises so far, like cat-cow, for instance. You are going to take a big deep breath and you'll extend one arm up to the ceiling, and you're going to be looking up at those fingers that are pointing up to the ceiling. Then you're going to let all of that air out, breathe it all the way out, and reach down and through that other hand so that you are folding underneath your arm. You're going to hold this for a few seconds and then come back to inhale, come back to that tabletop position, and then repeat on the other side. Once you really get the flow of this, you can follow your breath, and it just feels delicious and can really open up your low back. And is relatively easy to do, and as long as you can get on your hands and knees, most people can benefit from this exercise. All right. We only have one more day left, so I hope you'll join us tomorrow where we can put the icing on the cake of the 7-day low back pain management course.